Welcome to Am I the A-hole, where OP's half-sister insists that she should be allowed to bring her children to OP's child-free wedding, but OP stood her ground. As a result, OP's half-sister refuses to attend the wedding. I, 33-year-old female, am getting married to my fiancé Jack, 35-year-old male, in 2 months. We have been planning our wedding for the past year. Among other things, we agreed that our wedding would be child-free. When I told my half-sister about this, she became very angry and is now not attending my wedding. Background: I have a half-sister, Amy, 38-year-old female. She was just 2 when her mother died of cancer. After her death, our father married my mom. My mom brought up Amy like her own daughter. And in fact, I didn't initially know that we were half-sisters. We have been very close throughout our life. But now this dispute arose from my choice to have a child-free wedding. For the last year, my fiancé and I have been planning our wedding, and we are going to tie the knot in 2 months. During our planning, one of the things we agreed on was that our wedding would be child-free. My fiancé and I both come from pretty large families, but we both really want to have a classy, adult-only wedding. Also, the venue we have chosen for the wedding doesn't allow little kids on the premises after hours. So, a child-free wedding is the best option for us. No one had an issue with the child-free wedding except my half-sister. She has 3 kids: Ella, 10F, Max, 7M, and Sophie, 4F. She always brings them everywhere with her and hardly goes to an event without them. I knew this was going to be hard for her, but I needed to explain our reason for doing it. Thus, when I called her to discuss the issue, she immediately became defensive. "What do you mean I can't bring the kids? They're your nieces and nephew. Are you really going to ban your own family from your wedding?" I told her that it was not about banning my nieces and nephew. They were not attending the wedding because it was child-free, and that the rule applied to everyone, and not only to her. I explained to her that it was not because we did not love the kids, but we wanted the wedding to be formal and adults only. The venue also does not allow children under 12 after 8 p.m., which would make it impossible for families with young children to attend the wedding. Despite all my explanations, she was not ready to listen. She was protesting, saying, "Ella has been talking about your wedding for months. You're going to break her heart. And what about Max and Sophie? Do you know how difficult it is to find a babysitter for 3 children?" I felt pretty bad, but I held my ground. I offered to pay for a sitter, or even to help find someone trustworthy around here who could watch them while she and her husband would enjoy the wedding. I even suggested they bring the kids to the town to spend the morning with them and then leave them with the sitter before coming to the ceremony. But my half-sister got angrier. She said in a drippingly sarcastic manner that I was making it impossible for them to attend the wedding, and that it was because she was my half-sister. I was stunned to hear this from her because I never thought like this. I always consider her my real sister and treated her on the same line. I told her that she was not alone. Plenty of our guests have small children, and they had no problem with it. They agreed to our arrangements because they respect our wishes. On this, she said that I was blaming her for not respecting us. I was trying to clear things, but she hung up the call and stopped answering all my messages and phone calls. Last week, I got a call from my father who told me that my sister said I was kicking her kids out of the wedding, and that I did not want them there. This really shocked and totally upset me. I never said that. But it sounds like my half-sister warped the conversation to make it sound like I was being a bad person, deliberately excluding her children. Now my dad has jumped in, and he is taking my sister's side, saying it's cruel not to include the kids. He goes on and on about how Ella is just devastated, because she really was looking forward to participating in the wedding. I told my dad that the thing is not to hurt someone, but my sister doesn't understand it. My dad says that I should let my sister's kids attend the wedding, and that they would just have some photos, and that is it, and that if I didn't allow it, my half-sister would not attend our wedding. I am very confused now. If I allow my half-sister's kids but not others' kids to attend the wedding, it would be very weird, and it would make things complicated for me. If this is the case, what is the point of having a child-free wedding at all? So, am I the AH here? OP is certainly not an AH, and she has every right to set clear boundaries. If she wants to have a child-free wedding, all guests must comply with the policy. If she allows her sister's kids to attend the wedding, it would make things complicated for OP, and it would be unfair to other guests. So OP's sister is being unreasonable and is an AH. So I would give her 1.5 out of 5 on the AH scale. As OP is in the right, she deserves a 0 on the AH scale. Let's now jump to the next story, where OP's half-sister always creates a fuss at school and have fights with other children, and their parents always support her and get embarrassed, and OP is fed up of all this. So, he tells his parents to teach her to mind her own business at school. I, 25-year-old male, have a half-sister, Emma, 14-year-old female, who always instigates dramas at her school and then cries wolf if people stand up to her. My parents are largely responsible for her behavior because they always support her no matter if she is right or wrong, and they have filled her mind with the narrative that it is always somebody else's fault. The latest claim from Emma was that a girl named Emily was harassing her and calling her ugly, bullying her for her body in the locker rooms. Obviously, my parents came to the school guns blazing to get Emily expelled for what she did to my sister. The school was prepared for this meeting and had 2 other girls there, who were both witnesses to the incident. My parents claimed that Emily was bullying and harassing my sister, and the school brought the 2 witness girls to explain the incident. Both girls said that Emily was not bullying my sister. Instead, she accused Emily of checking her out. Emily simply stated that she wasn't checking my sister out, or attracted to her at all, and asked to be left alone. Emily only spoke in self-defense after Emma approached her first, and didn't say anything else to Emma. If I were my parents, I would have apologized for what happened, made my sister apologize, and then grounded her for being a liar and instigator in the first place. But my parents did none of this. Not only that, they still think it was bullying and are threatening to sue the school for not defending my sister, punishing Emily, and disciplining the 2 witnesses for not intervening. Unfortunately, I am a lawyer, and I am receiving constant calls from my parents, asking me to help them take legal action against the school. Initially, I tried to convince my parents that it is a very strange situation and that the school is not at fault and there is no advantage in going to court, but they continued to call me. Last week, I visited my parents, where they pretended to be very disappointed with me and again asked me to sue the school, saying that if I didn't, they would hire another lawyer. Once again, I tried to convince them that the school was not at fault, but they were not receptive. So I finally told them clearly that they were wrong for supporting their daughter, regardless of whether she was right or wrong. I told them they needed to change their parenting style, and their daughter needed to change her behavior at school and mind her own business. I warned them that if they continued to support her this way, it would only lead to a bigger mess. Finally, I begged them not to involve me in their daily dramas, and then left. Now, my parents are angry with me. I am confused about what to do. Do you think I am wrong here? OP is certainly not an AH. Here, OP's parents are AH for supporting their daughter even when she is wrong. It is the worst type of parenting I have ever heard of. Here, OP acted responsibly by refusing to support a baseless legal case and advising his parents on proper parenting. As for scores, I would rate OP 0 out of 5, and OP's parents 2.5 on the AH scale. What do the Mac Reddit fans think? Is the OP an AH or not? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like the stories I brought you, just hit the like button, share them as much as you can, and don't forget to subscribe to Mac Reddit for a daily dose. Bye bye. See you tomorrow with some more spicy fries.